Okay, guys, this is going to be a long, drawn-out comparison of the TPIS that I just started to do a little work to at this end and blended that ridge out at the very end. You can still see it's still a little bit there, all the way down at the very end where the light is, versus my stocker that's been done up. Now, the stocker has had a lot of metal taken out, but you have to remember the TPIS is cast a lot larger than the stocker. Now, on the 3rd gen thread, somebody said, wow, I would love to see how that ported stocker flows on the same port as last video where I did the flows on this TPIS that I did a little bit of work to. Let's compare them right now. Okay, this is TPIS end radius, open tight turn at the end. So this is what you guys saw last. Not bad, right? The head was flowing 263, and then through the manifold we got 237. Well, the head is exactly the same. Same port, same everything, okay? But now we plug on my stocker, and we go from 237.3 to 248.2. So that automatically raises a red flag with me. I'm like, how is that even possible that it's that much better? Now, you have to remember that the TPIS has only had a little bit of work done to it. But it's also pretty big to begin with. And according to the plans for this project, it needs to stay relatively tight. In fact, I was talking to the customer, we may actually have to do some epoxy work in it to get it where we really want it. We'll find out when we get there. A lot of this is conjecture until we get the runners. The runners will really dictate what we do. But I figured I could put a little effort into this and we can get some numbers and we can do some thinking about it. As far as our swirl curve, the ported stocker really knocked our swirl back quite a bit. As far as our flow, it's a winner everywhere. So, as far as airflow is concerned, it's a winner. Now, will it have as good a reflection of the harmonics? I don't know. We need to get some more information on that. I'm probably going to have to do a little studying on that. Okay, as I've been told before, my presentation is extremely unorganized, so I'm working on it. Don't expect huge changes because this is just the way I am. On the left, we've got Ported Stock TPI base. I took 5 different measurements. Let's show you where I took those measurements. I'm going to show you on the TPIS because it's already on the bench. First measurement is this circle. Now, my stocker is not 100% perfect circle. This is because it's not machined yet, but this is a little bit smaller. Okay, so that's our first measurement. We call that the tube flange. Okay, second measurement is going to be at like the apex of this turn here. Okay. Third is going to be towards the center of this. Now, it's not really rectangular. It's more like a trapezoid, but it's very parallel. So when you calculate it, you can calculate it like a rectangle. Then we do our apex of this turn, and then we do not exactly the flange, but where I would push the roof up, the apex of that turn. Now remember, I barely took anything out of this, so that number is going to be quite a bit different on the ported stocker than this one. Okay, the measurements are the same place, give or take, a little bit. You have to remember I'm doing in and out through a manifold. The measurements may not be exact. I know some guys get upset if I'm, off by 0.001. This isn't my electronics engineering class, guys. This is estimation to see what's going on. So, same points. Okay, our ported stocker has got bigger circles, so we've got more area, 2.23. Not too far off from where we were estimating we want to be, which is about a 2.1. Okay. Tube flange here, a little bit smaller because the TPIS is still the exact stock size flange. Now, it's almost round on my stocker by the first turn. It's not 100% round. So what I did is I took the height and width, averaged them, get my radius. It gives me 2 inches at our first turn. Okay, here it's got about a 0.75 radius. So we do the height, we do the width, we figure out how much the corner is worth. It's 0.1225. So we take this number, multiply it together, subtract that, gives us 3.06 inches. We've got an extra inch of area at that turn. That's where I was talking about maybe it might need a little epoxy there. And we can go through the airspeeds as well. I did a comparison of the airspeeds on the ported stocker, and we can take a look at the TPIS that was just touched. Okay, moving down. This is the straight part of the port. Okay, it's about a 3/4 inch radius, so you subtract that, same as we did last time, right? So we wind up with a very tight 1.975 in that center section. Now, you have to remember, it was very rectangular. It's more of an oval now because I took as much as I dared out of the top and bottom. I mean, if I really wanted to, I could probably give it a little more area there if I really needed to, but I don't think I need to because this TPI base is kind of cranking right now. Okay, we've got 1, 2, 3, so that's this one. Okay, the TPIS is quite a bit bigger. We're going from 1.975 to 2.28. Okay, notice the difference from here to here, right? Versus the difference from here to here. Yes, they give it a lot more area to make the turn. I am not opposed to doing that. Now, you have to remember, I have no idea who designed this and what were they trying to accomplish? They're trying to accomplish high RPM out of a TPI, which is going to be tough because you have the harmonics working against you after like 5,200 RPM. Okay, so apex of the last turn. You have to remember this has had a lot of work done to it. This one was just touched. So what do we've got? About a 1/2 inch radius. So we got height, width, whatever they are here. We subtract our 0.05 corner radius. This is what we get, 2.069, okay? We go from 1.97 to 2.06. Pretty close, okay? How did we do here? Well, same idea, basically the same radius, very close, almost the same. Remember, I didn't take a huge amount out of this because it was already bigger than the stocker. So this is what we have as far as square inches at that last apex. Okay, now curved roof apex. Let's show you that on the manifolds. We're not making a mistake. Okay, on the ported stocker, I was able to take a good amount of metal out of here because I want to give it a better approach to our port because this is such a low intake manifold approach. This has only been touched. It doesn't have a huge amount taken out of this yet. Okay, but this has been moved back and radiused and nice. Okay, as far as our curved roof apex on our stocker, 2.1, which is pretty close to what we were shooting for. What are we here? Much smaller because I haven't raised that roof up. Now, first thing that strikes me is our progression. Well, let's take a look at this one first, right? We got 2.23. It actually gets tighter around the first turn because I have a pretty big opening here. And in reality, that probably shouldn't even be that big. I was working with the SLP runners at the time, and I could make them that big. Not that it helped, because the SLP runners are not great. Okay? So, we go from 2.23 to 2 inches, down a little bit more, right? So the air is accelerating at this point, and now it's getting a little bit bigger, but not much bigger. Not much bigger. Okay? You can see the progression is relatively smooth from here to here. Now this one, we start at 214, which is actually smaller. Then we get a lot bigger. We go down a little more, go down a little more. Okay, first thing that strikes my mind is put some curve on that roof and see where we are. Let me know what you guys think about that. Let's take a look at some of the average airspeeds through these two. Very interesting stuff. Okay, like I said, I'm working on my organization. So what have we got here? This is the ported stock base. This is TPIS first cut. Okay, pretty sure. Let me take a look. Okay, they should be organized the same as far as 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, floor, front of the runner, roof of the runner, back of the runner. Okay, now what we did is we took some averages. Okay, average speed on the floor, average speed on the front, average speed on the roof, average speed on the back. Same thing here. Okay, this is a 9. 2.9. Notice how much tighter these are than these, right? 258, 269. Okay, that speed change isn't really helping us. The other way I averaged them was down all rows. So that's what we have here. Okay. Notice the air speeds by the flange where it's entering the head, cranking, right? Because we've got much smaller area right there. Now compare this to this, all right? This is up. This is down quite a bit. These are almost the same at this point. And the flange is screaming fast because this is actually tighter than our stalker, right? Because I haven't radiused that roof out yet. So what do we come to, what can we deduce from this hours of measuring and looking and seeing what's what? Remember, the point is not to goof up this TPIS. We want to make it the best we can for what it is. In reality, does the ported stocker kick ass? You know it does. How? It's got a lot of hours worth of work into it. And it was originally done for a set of 083s. And then I did it with the SLP runners and the stock runners. You can check that all out on that Speed Talk thread. 083 TPI project. I think the best I got through the whole thing was 209 with the stock runners. Maybe 211. It was pretty horrible. Hopefully the Arizona Speed and Marine runners will come in and will definitely take care of business. But as far as what I can do on this now, in reality, I could go through the ports and take the lumps and bumps out, put my specific burr finish on it that I want to use, which is very low restriction, which is what this one has on it. That's actually my high helix cutter that puts a really nice, very low scallops. Okay? Someone's going to say, oh, it should be polished. First of all, I hate polishing too. No real advantage to it on something like this. Oh, but Charlie, it doesn't have any fuel. Doesn't really matter. Take a look at shark skin. Take a look at feathers on a wing. Okay, those are like that for a reason, to reduce resistance. In any case, you want to fight me on any of these, knock yourself out. That's what the comment section is for, guys. It's Sunday morning, already cooked. Yesterday was an ugly day in the sun a lot. And we'll see what we can do today. Thanks for hanging out. Please give me some input. Have a good night.